You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to another Black Hollywood Live's quarantine conversation. I have the privilege of having a beautiful singer, songwriter, Grammy-nominated artist, and Billboard charting artist, and she's also an entrepreneur. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Miss Etana.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. How are you?
I'm doing great, as can be in this period.
Yes. So, okay, of course, this is quarantine conversation. So I have to ask you, how have you been dealing with everything, since the quarantine's been going on? How has music been?
I stay recording in the studio, I stay writing, I stay playing with the kids, playing with teacher as well. I have to create a schedule. It's exciting, it's frustrating, it's everything.
Absolutely. I completely understand. So going straight into it, I know you've been in the music industry for so long, but you started off as a pop artist. But how did you actually get into being a pop artist?
I was first a background singer for the artist called Irise for writing. I was asked to write a song, and it took me about 6 months to do so. And then I eventually wrote a song called Wrong Address. And it's ever so popular that I was asked after the song was released.
I know you've been in the music industry so long.
Not perform pop artist.
So Miss Etana, I know that you've been in the music industry for a long time, but I want to know, how did you start your journey out in this industry?
I was a background artist for Richie Spice for a year or two, maybe a year and a half. And then I was asked to write a song because people kept asking who I was, as if I was already, like an artist. And eventually it took me about 6 months to make up my mind to decide, to write a song. And I wrote a song called Wrong Address. And about later, that song became so popular that I was asked by the management at Fifth Element to not perform with the artist anymore and go off on my own.
Oh, wow. So how was that transitioning? Of course, singing and songwriting are like the same thing, but of course, like you have to put on your head different as a songwriter than you do as a singer. How was it transitioning and actually, pushing yourself out there to be an artist?
It was at first, well, I kind of knew that my issue about being an artist was I didn't want to have to show too much of my body or be too revealing, right?
Yes.
So I realized that I didn't have to do that in this team or in this group of people, amongst these group of people. Writing the song came easy, I just had to make up my mind to do it. And then at the time when I was writing the song, the melody came and the lyrics came at the same time. And so I wrote the song in like 5 minutes. And even recording the song, I was rehearsing with the guitarist in the studio. And they recorded it, and that's how it was released at first, like with no mastering, nothing. It was just raw. It got mastered eventually. But the transition, though, was easy. I just kind of did as I was told. And they of course knew what I had in my mind, and we put it all together, and it just worked.
That's awesome. So I know that you started out, again, like we said, as a pop artist and you transitioned into reggae. Tell me a little bit about that journey of deciding to go from pop to reggae.
Right. So I remember being in the group and we were doing a video, and it was a group of 4 girls, one from Ghana, one from Guyana. I was one from Jamaica, and one from New York.
Wow.
Girls. And it was like R&B, hip hop, a mixture with rock combined, the music. And I remember doing a video. We were doing this routine where I had to turn to the side and turn.
Yes.
I had on like Victoria's Secret lingerie, and I had on the thong, and the camera was really low. And I'm thinking, okay, so is this what you really want? Because I was really uncomfortable with the camera being as low as it was, knowing that I hardly had on a bottom piece. You know?
Absolutely. I trust me, I do understand.
So I decided that when there was a time when we took a break for some, like maybe a month that we were given, and after that break, we were going to go to another country. And in that break, I went to Jamaica and then called and said I wasn't going to go.
Wow.
It was a rough moment for me and for the girls because we've already like created this bond. We were friends. We basically lived in 2 different apartments, one on top, one at the bottom, huge apartment. We had a lot of space, a lot of fun, a lot of everything together.
So you guys are basically like family.
Yeah, and it was hard for me to say it, but I had to for my own peace of mind though. Would I have done it again? Yes, I would, because I still, I don't think I would have had enough voice to say, hey, move the camera or don't put it there. I'd probably be like the sore thumb in the party, you know? So I kind of just pulled myself apart from it.
Right. I completely understand. Now, starting your journey out in reggae, I know that you switched your name to Etana. Tell me a little bit about why did you decide to switch your name and where does the name come from?
Because it's, Shauna means beautiful or pretty. At least that's what I was told. Shauna means pretty. And I think that women are beautiful all over the world, just like you and, you know, all the beautiful women all over. But we most times don't remember how strong or how powerful we are.
Absolutely.
And so I think that would remind women all over the world of how powerful we are every time they see it. And the name Etana is said to mean the strong one. It's from like a small village in Kenya. And it means strong. And so I figured it was perfect. Etana, strong, powerful woman. And that's all of us.
Awesome. So your very, very first release of the album that you came out with was Etana, the Strong One. What specifically did you want your audience to get from that?
Love and strength and courage and social commentary that was familiar but truthful and honest. I wanted to introduce myself to them, what it was about. And I'm sure they got that after receiving that album, The Strong One.
Yes. So you went on to actually create you have like 6 albums, about to actually come out with 7. Free Expression, Better Tomorrow, Reggae Forever, Best, and also Dimensions. I want to talk a little bit more about the song that you created called Irise. It's so beautiful and it's so powerful, and I feel like it kind of centers around the times. Tell me a little bit more why you decided to come out with this song at the time that you did.
Well, I was in an agreement with VP Records at the time, who was distributing and who I was signed to as an artist. And I wanted that to be we had a kind of like a rough relationship. Sometimes we were good, sometimes we were not. And I just wanted this one to be the last album. But even then we had some issues getting that done. And I went through this whole phase where I was like depressed and I didn't want to get up out of bed. I stayed in bed the whole time. I hardly ate, the whole depression phase. And
absolutely.
I just decided one day when I got up, like, hey, this is it. Like, I'm not going to do this to myself anymore, because everybody that I'm, everything that I'm upset about already is. And all these people are going on with their lives and doing the same things they do every day, while I'm here, like hurting myself. And so I decided not to do that anymore, and that I was going to rise above the things that were holding me back or holding me down. And that's what I did. I put my all into writing the album. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was in Steve Marley's studio in Miami, and Riffy was playing the keyboard. And I said to him, hey, play something around this. I said, Irise, rise, see I'm hurting but not broken, down but I won't die, Irise. And then, the song, became alive at that moment. And I called a writer called Sharita Lewis from Jamaica, and I said, hey, here's an idea. Here are all the words that I have around it and the melody and stuff. And just, help me pull it together. We went back and forth, and there goes Irise.
Yes, it's such a beautiful song. And I know that, like, even coming from like the Jamaican culture, I know people like Bob Marley and the Wailers, they really made songs about, teaching their people to rise up and just be able to fight the system and things that are going on. And one thing I wanted to ask you, just from, I know there's a lot of things that are going on right now. Like, how do you feel the roots, like I said, like Bob Marley and the Wailers and the things that they talk about in their music? How do you feel as an artist it's important to be able to reflect the times in your music?
It's very important, because just as I find inspiration in my own thought, or I find the strength to fight through whatever I may be, struggling with, I think that it encourages people to do the same. And we are people, and we experience some of the very things that we experience on a daily together in different times, even though we're here on our own journey. And so I feel like once I have the responsibility of a pen, and I say it's a responsibility because it really is, when you write a song, it reaches so many across the world. And I want that each time that I put the pen down, I inspire people to fight and to live and to love and to share and to care and to do the things that make us flourish as people.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I absolutely agree that that's so important. And getting back to talking about reggae music, I know, of course, we know that when people think about reggae music, they definitely always think about the Marleys and the Wailers. And I know Miss Griffith was also somebody that was very, influential within the reggae. So going from the beginning of reggae until now, how do you feel like music has transcended, and like, where do you feel like it's going to go?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. All right. So from Bob Marley and Jimmy Cliff and Toots and all of the reggae artists that you can think of, who kind of like started, what reggae is even today, their music is still very much relevant, still very much on the chart, still very much inspiring many people across the world. And those of us who came after just kind of like carried it along. And so I feel like it's here to stay. And even if it borrows from other genres or cultures, I think the root of reggae music, the check it, check, and get up, stand up,
Yes.
I think that they're here to stay. They're going nowhere. And as much as we will evolve and we will combine cultures, the root of it will always exist. It's deep. It's a deep root,
Yes, awesome. I also want to ask you too, because I've listened to your music, and you're such a teacher. You're so inspirational. You speak so much about love and about even inspiring women to be strong. So what kind of influence do you want to have on women through your music? And like, what do you see like the young generation of young girls coming up? What do you want to give them through your songs?
One thing that I would love for women to get from, especially not just the song, but the way that I live, and the way and how I deal with other people. What we don't want for ourselves, we should not do to others. It's important that we, even though we know that we have flaws and we do things sometimes that the world or ourselves are not proud of, that we shouldn't, pick on people to pull them down. We should always encourage them because they're people. Absolutely. And we're perfect, but we're imperfect, that we have to continue to lift each other up. So instead of, talking about, oh, look at her shoes, or, oh, her hair is so not done, or
right. As women, we can be petty.
Or, all the other things that we talk about. That it's better that we look at the beauty in us all and try to use that to elevate us. But never forget to fight if you feel the need to fight. Cry if you feel the need to cry. Be yourself and be free to be you, and love and appreciate all of you, because you're beautiful. And that's what I want them to get from the way that I live and the way that I write.
Yes, I will say I've so far gotten that from most of your music that I've listened to. It's really, really beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now I want to talk about you, because you, again, have made #1 in the reggae Billboard charts with your single, with your album Reggae Forever. Tell me a little bit more about the experience of, making it #1 to the Billboard charts.
Oh man, Reggae Forever. I remember when I got the call from VP, and I was listening in, and we were told as a team that, hey, we're not going to go any further. This is where it ends, and we wish you all the best. And we kind of parted on a good note. And then I sat the day after, and I said, wait a minute, I'm going to have to do everything on my own now.
Wow.
And I said, how am I going to do that? For once, at this moment, I knew what it felt like to be a caged bird set free. I kind of sat in a cage for a little bit because I didn't know what to do. I just sat there, And one day I just, through conversations with my partners, and I just decided it's time to fly. And I just, started writing, and I started recording. And I truly knew at that time what it felt like to work totally without an A&R or without a budget from a label.
Sometimes that's actually the push, but when you don't have that and it's just you, it's like you're independent artist, so you have to make it.
And so when I had to put the money in and call the people that I wanted to work with, and when I had to know what was right and what was wrong, and what I wanted out of a song and what I wanted in, and all this stuff, by the time it was done, it was like, wow, okay, it's done. And I said, I'm just going to put it out, and I'm going to see, like I always do. I just put the music out and I allow my fans to speak. And I didn't expect to be nominated, because I thought to myself, they don't really consider females like that in reggae anyway.
Yes, it's a very, very male dominated industry.
So when it was nominated and I got the call, it was like 6:00 in the morning, and I was in LA. And he said, you're nominated. And I said, for what, And he said, for the Grammys, girl. And I said, oh, really?
You weren't surprised. Like, so you weren't shocked or anything.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was so confused. I didn't know. I was like, wait a minute, what did you say, kind of thing. And then the excitement grew after a while. And then it dawned on me that that was my first album that I created all by myself with my own team. And
with no record label, and you made Billboard. Right. That's a lot to say.
And when in that same conversation, the person who called me told me that it's the first time in over 20 something years that a female was nominated in reggae. Wow. With the Grammy. So It was a lot of things to achieve in one album, and I was very, very grateful. And when the excitement did kick in, I did scream. I was excited, and I decided to go to the Grammy and represent and, have a woman make my outfit from the Caribbean and, wear pink and all these things.
Yes. Now, speaking of fashion, I definitely want to get into that because I noticed like your pieces are so beautiful. Like you have African pieces, you have Caribbean pieces. Tell me a little bit more about who you work with, to be able to create your wardrobe and your style.
I work with MDs. She's called Melissa Dunkley, MD's Collections. And I've been working with her since my very beginning. Like in my early time of doing Sting and, my early performances in Jamaica and throughout the Caribbean. And so I figured it was only fitting to call her on a day that I was nominated to share with her, And I do work with like 2 other young designers from Jamaica as well. And how I do it most times is I say, here's an idea. I kind of draw it out. I'm not the perfect artist, but
but you have a vision. That's all you need.
Draw it out and I send it, and they just put it together and make it come alive. And it's just so perfect when they're done.
Yes. Well, I mean, I think that you do a very good job because it's so intricate and it's so detailed. And I love how you always attach it to, the music that you have. And speaking of that, so have you ever thought about maybe start coming up with your own collection?
I did. Okay. So maybe in 2015, I came out with the skirt line, the African print skirt line. And that was so hard for me because I wanted it to be of a certain finish and I wanted it to be flawless. And I wanted the fabric itself to be, durable and many things. I wanted when a woman wear that skirt that she would feel, like a woman, confident and strong, and beautiful.
Right.
And that was a lot of pressure put on the designers to get it done the way that I wanted. And I also had to ensure that they had the freedom to be themselves as designers. Yes. Right. And so it was a little challenging. And after I went through the whole and the collection, sold out the collection, because of the music and my team being as small as it is, I just kind of took a step back to focus more on music to, cover more grounds, and maybe I'll do that again later.
Yes, you should, because I love your style. Your fashion is so beautiful, and I just feel like we can learn so much from the culture of like all of the prints and just the intricate things that you actually put into what you do.
Thank you.
Now, speaking of that, because I know you're an entrepreneur. You have Etana Organics. Tell me a little bit more about those products that you have.
Okay, so a lot of times my hair is out, afro out, and even with my girls, combing their hair and adding products. I noticed some products, make your hair look nice and shiny, and then after that, it kind of dries it out. And I'm like, okay, so why is this so not easy to work with our Afro kings? And so I spoke to a few farmers and people in Jamaica who create like castor oil and different products. And I explained to them what I was looking for in a castor oil, what difference I was looking for, based on what I had access to. And I finally found one who made the castor oil in a way that when you put it in your hair, it made mine, my daughters, my mothers, everybody around me here so soft. But at the same time, like instead of using like other gels and stuff to create edges, and the same product could be used to keep your hair all in one without making it fuzzy and all these things. And I figured, okay, so this is one thing. And now I moved on to skin. And so I took my time to, make sure that all of these, like the hair, the castor oil for the hair, or the oils that had in the ginger roots and all of this organic stuff was really and truly 100% organic and from the earth in Jamaica, and had positive effects on hair, including hair growth and doing all the things that we as, Black women want in our hair and what we wanted to look and feel like. And yeah, I got really deep. And so, I'm excited about it and still looking into different, products that could be added.
Yes, because I was going to ask you, so can we look at a extension of, some other organic products that you're going to come out with?
Oh yeah, I'm working on it because after the product is even created, I keep testing it with different people, over time to see the results and stuff like that before I actually put it out there, because I want to see how it affects different people and, make sure that it does what I say it's doing or it is going to do.
Absolutely, because that means everything. And, like now, like we're at the place where everybody wants something vegan, cruelty free, like they want the organic. So anything that says organics, people will definitely buy it.
Because many people do that. Many people put the label on there saying, oh, it's 100% organic, or they put the label saying it does this, it does that. I mean, you can see from all the stuff we have access to that it says one thing, and then when you use it, you're like, oh, no, but it doesn't, So I want to make sure that people don't get that effect from the products that I create. I want to make sure that it says so, that it is 100% is what I say it is.
Absolutely. That is so important. Speaking of, you're also an entrepreneur, but I know back in 2018, you got the Foundation's Award for the Life Charity event for the Lawmen Lynch Foundation. Tell me a little bit more about that honor that you received.
I think it was because of the many things that the Lawmen Lynch Foundation is aware of me doing over time. And I think that's all it is. I think it was just to honor the work that I've done over time and all the things that they've seen me do, and I'm very appreciative of it. And I know the importance of letting people know, making people more aware of the things that one does. However, I do believe that some help, it's better to just do it than to say, hey, I did it. I'm the kind of person who like to do, but not to say I did,
Yes. Let your actions speak louder than your words.
Right. And a lot of people will say, so how come you don't do videos showing what you've done? And because I really do believe in my heart that when someone is in need, like really in need, I don't think it's the best thing to do to let everybody, hey, this person is in need and I'm helping them.
Right.
I think it's best to just help them, and then that memory of helping that person or those words from that person after a while or over time will be more valuable than a video that you can put out for a lot of people to like it, And so my way is just a little different. Again, I could be a little weird sometimes, but that's all right.
No, it's not. I mean, I think that giving is, definitely should be something that everybody knows should be, centered to the person that, you give to. But of course, we live in a world where I feel like social media really makes everybody wants to post. Like we have to let the world know what we're doing. And I think something like that, as far as giving, it has to be very intimate.
I mean, if I do get to posting and broadcasting things that I do, I think even with that post or even in that broadcasting, I prefer to do something that earns income to continue the work, to continue caring and to continue sharing, like possibly a TV show or something like that. That may be something I will do, which is not just to broadcast and to tell people, hey, I'm doing this, but to create further income to continue doing what I do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of that, I want to talk about this new album you're getting ready to come out with this month, Gemini. Tell me a little bit about the album. Who are you collaborating with, and what can we expect?
So the album Gemini, every album that I create, I try to go a little bit more, do a little bit more, outdo the one before, if not outdo, be as good as, you know. And so the music on Gemini is a little bit different. It reminds you of some of the stuff I've done before, but then it's completely different from everything you've heard before. And I collaborated with Kabaka Pyramid, which is another reggae artist. I collaborated with Bugle, and I've also collaborated with the Nomads and Waya from the band called C Shop, who was also a producer and background vocalist on Irise with me as well. So I kind of kept like some of the same people who are Geminis to work on.
Absolutely. Wait, well, hold on. So are you a Gemini?
Yes, I am a Gemini.
Okay. There's the connection.
I feel like Geminis, we get along with everybody.
Right.
We adjust well. We are, outgoing. We are a lot of things in one. It's just a whole lot of things in one. And that's why I think they say we have like many faces, many personalities, because it's fun. And so I think there's a lot to share. And if I have so many, and all along I've been working with so many Geminis and I didn't know it.
See, it's almost like you just kind of attract who you are.
So I kind of figured, okay, let's just put it all together and just call it Gemini, because this is all of us and all of my fans who are listening to as well, all together in one.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to talk about these singles that you have so far. They are amazing. The first one is Truly. It's so beautiful. Tell me a little bit about the single.
Truly is a love song that is, to me, encourages lovers to get together and express love in a deeper way and tone.
Especially during quarantine.
Yeah. They were saying that since the quarantine started, like many couples were separating and divorcing and stuff, I guess, because they have to spend more time together, and so Truly is an inspiration and encouragement to get closer together and to love, do all the things that lovers do in quarantine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about your second single, which is Bubble. Tell me about, because it was giving me so many like Jamaican vibes. I was ready to dance and party and celebrate. It's just one of those songs that it just makes you just want to move and groove and celebrate for hours.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that we do as Africans or people of African descent, right? And everybody who's into reggae, all races across the board, they know that with reggae and dancehall, we move the waistline a lot and the hips.
Yes.
And so the song called Bubble, it kind of drives you to do just that. It kind of drives you to be happy and to even in love, even togetherness, even without love, by yourself, self-love, like to enjoy the moment that we're in, even though it's kind of, all over the place at the moment. But when you hear Bobby, you just want to bubble me up, bubble fun time.
Yes. Listen, I'm telling you now, I already had my little moves that I was getting together. So I know like it's gonna be a song that I'm gonna share with my friends and we're gonna bubble. That's what we're gonna do.
And all the negative energy and draw some more positive energy to you while you're moving your waistline. That's crazy.
So what is your favorite song on the album and why?
Oh man, that's hard to pick one. Like when you write almost all the songs on the album and you're very involved in the production, it's hard to pick just one. Oh man, but if I had to pick one, I'd say I'd pick about two, right?
Okay. And what's that?
I'd pick, oh God, that's hard. I'm sorry. I'd pick Love.
Love?
Which is like a letter to love itself.
Ah, wow. It's almost like an interpretation of love.
It's saying, it says, love, don't make me forget what it feels like to feel you. You know, because like we watch so many things on social media, so many different things happening. It's almost like all the rules that we knew before doesn't exist anymore, and it's changing into something else.
Right.
But it's that we're becoming more numb.
Yes.
And we're what it means to love, and we're forgetting what it means to feel. And I'm saying to love, don't make me forget what it feels like to feel you. And so that's my love. And the next one is tight space. So love, tight space, bubble, and truly. Yeah.
Tight space. Okay, this sounds interesting. So please tell me, what is it about?
Which one? Tight space?
Yes.
Okay, so tight space is about my lover being away from me, far away from me, and I'm telling him, I know it's gonna hurt to know your friend's trying, but you know me not gonna make them style it thing. Come in a loose, and to the general alone we salute. You know, so it's like saying, I'm gonna be with you, and even though you're far away, I'm not gonna cheat on you because
the trust.
My love, you know, and to the general alone we salute. So it's about, you know, showing that honor to the one that you love and respecting that one that you love.
Oh, and that is
proof
so
of this. No, it's still one of those you know, and staying bubbling vibe and thing, you know. So rockings and bubblings another one day.
Yes, like the authentic genuineness of love, because I know right now our generation of you know, love is very interesting in the way that it's expressed. So it's definitely beautiful to see it from, you know, a space of just, you know, even though we're far away, the love that we have is still going to keep us strong.
Right.
And speaking on that note, I know that you did a collaboration that just came out on the 22nd of May, All in One. It's a very, very beautiful song that you did the collaboration with. Tell me, because I know right now there's so much going on. Gemini's coming out. You have, you know, the celebration of your music. I'm sorry, and talking about love. I'm sorry.
Are you speaking of the All in One song?
Yes, the All in One song. Because I know there's so much right now that's going on. And that song is very powerful. It has some very powerful and heartfelt words. So right now, with everything going on, like, how would you speak to the song in a way that we can be able to use that to, you know, keep us very positive and in love?
The song starts off saying, one sun, one moon, one earth. And yeah, we are all creations of his work, but it seems we don't know what life is really worth. Let's unite and share the love we all deserve. And no, I didn't know any of this would be happening at this moment. But I do know that there is like a silent race war, and it has always been for a long time. But in all of that, like when I go to festivals and when in my everyday happenings, I've seen people of all races come together. I've seen people of all races share the same space. I've seen musicians from LA, California, in Europe, and people from Africa, and everybody come together and we share the same stage, the same backstage food, all of this stuff. But then there are some people who try to divide us along the way. And I'm saying to even those that, you know, who try to divide us, that no matter what you do, people will continue to love and to share and to care. And your efforts may seem at some point like it's you know, like it's valuable, but it really isn't. In time and over time, you will see that many have tried, but they have failed. And love will always win, you know? And because we know that as a fact, that love will always win, that we should try a lot more to, you know, coexist, to be on earth together, because it is ours and we're all here for a different reason, but we have to share the same space, you know, and we're all just passing through. We're not here to stay forever. We're all just passing through. So in that passing through, we need to share the same space. You know, even if you don't love the person, you can always share with somebody you don't love. And that's what the song is about. Being yourself, appreciating and loving who you are. Mm-hmm. And in doing so, and when you do so, you will understand and realize that it's easier to love and accept other people, because you can't love and appreciate other people if you can't appreciate yourself. So it has to start with you first, and then to everybody else. And all the hate that they try to drive, I'm telling you, they keep on trying, but they keep on failing, and they will always fail, because love will always win.
Absolutely. Well, that was super powerful. I just want to say congratulations to you, to your new album that's coming out, both of your singles that you have, your career, your products, everything that you have going on, Etana. You are truly a woman of virtue and power. And I know that you are going to make such a legendary space in this culture, in this world, with your music and so much more. So I want to thank you so much for your time today. I wish you nothing but the success and the best. And thank you.
I wish you the same.
Well, before you leave, we want to know where can we find your album, and where can we find you on social media?
You can find my album on iTunes, anywhere that there is music, Spotify, Pandora, AudioMac, name it, it's there. Amazon, YouTube, it's everywhere. And you can find me on social media, on Twitter, Etana Strong One, Etana STRONGONE. And on Instagram, it's the same, Etana Strong One. And Facebook is ONEETANA.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Etana just blessed us with her presence, her music, and so much more. She told us where we can find all of her music and her products. So make sure you guys stay tuned. When is that album coming out this month?
June. It's already out for pre-order. It's already up for pre-order. I meant, with the 2 singles available, Bubble and Truly. And then on June 19th, the album will be live.
Awesome. Well, you guys heard it, and I am your host, Nima Sky. You can find me on all social media platforms at Miss Nima Sky. You guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much, Etana.
Thank you. Perfect.
You're welcome.
On behalf of our BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content. And be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.